Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your new Flagstaff Microlite 22 FBS travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around this one, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple of things to think about when you're parking this. On your campsite, leave plenty of room for this awning. On your off campsite, of course you're going to leave room for your slide, but beside your slide, I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. They're both going to be behind your tires on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, or what they call the off camp side of your unit. Power, water up there for campsites. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive and unhook our hitch, first thing we do is level our unit. And it comes with a power tongue jack. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. Now, should you lose your power, under this rubber stopper right here, one of your two hand cranks, the thinner of the two, will get down in there on a bolt and get this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts every now and then, make sure nothing's wiggled loose going down the road. Over time, once we got our unit level, also comes with a night docking light should you arrive at night. But once we got our unit level, next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. And to the left of your door here is where you'll retract or extend these down. As I hit extend, I'm going to recommend stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris, from hot blacktop in the summer. Sometimes that metal will sink into the hot blacktop. Get you a 4-pack of those, put them down, run these down just until they're taut. Remember, unit's already level. We are just stabilizing it. Once it feels like it's going to start lifting the unit, go ahead and stop. Repeat the process here in the rear. Again, put your stabilizer jack pads down, run these down. Sometimes you may, depending on how far off the ground you are, may have to adjust your feet on these. They come down good. Most of the time they'll catch and go down fine. And bam, unit's level and stable. We can hook up our power and water. You got a big long 30 amp cord, plugs in here on the side, kind of like a pistol grip here. Goes in at about 11 o'clock, turn it to noon, and then put this black washer on here. Actually, I'll go to about 11. Just as long as it locks in there. You see that light, that means you got power. Now at the end of this, plug in your convenience pack, should you need to use it, to get to a 110 is a 30 to 15 amp reducer. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Docking station's up here. First and foremost, grab your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so always use these. Come up here to the top, you'll see a tank flush, you'll see city water, and you'll see antifreeze. City water is where we're connecting that campsites. Hook that up. Hook up your hose. Don't turn that hose on yet. Here you have your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point, make sure we throw some plumber's tape on that. Not putty. Putty will gum up on you. But there's your Anon rod and your plug for your hot water heater. Throw that in there. Make sure that's in there nice and snug. And then you can go ahead and turn that hose on. After that hose been on for a few minutes, go inside, open the slide if you need to. We get in there and open up all the water lines, get a nice steady flow of water going through them, all the air out of the lines, shut them off, and you are all set to camp. Now let's say we're going to go dry camping and we want to fill up our freshwater tank. In that case, over here on the same side toward the front is your freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. You can gravity fill this with a hose. You want someone on the inside watching where you fill your black and gray tanks. There's also an area where you can see your freshwater filling. Keep an eye on that when you're filling it. 2 ways to tell when it's full. One in there, or 2 this overflow valve out here. Don't leave it unattended while you're filling it. Once it's full, remove the hose, put that cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump and hook up your city water. That is already pressurized. Alright, we're all set to camp. We've got power and water. I'm going to walk you around the unit before going inside. Again, out here's our batteries. Underneath is your battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. The propane is on a regulator, lefty loosey to open. Up here, green means you've got gas. Pointed toward the tank you wish to be using. I like to go one at a time. Coming back down your off camp side. Docking lights for up front. There's a magnet for your door. Bag full of a couple goodies. Here's your water hose. Also a water filter to hook up. Some tire gel for you on this one. Your fresh water again. Freshwater drain. Down there's where you pull your handle to dump your fresh water. Your slide. I want to mention on your slides, on your slide mechanism, the wiper seals. Make sure you keep them nice and pliable and flexible over the years. Keep them from dry rotting. They got a spray that you can put on those. Again, your hot water heater. If for some reason it doesn't seem to be working, come out here to see if either one of your overrides are. This is a 12 volt and 110. See if either one of those have jumped. Simply press them back in. There are a reset button there. Back to this docking station. Again, city water here. Tank flush. We'll talk about that when leaving the campsite and dumping your tanks. And over here is where you'll turn on your water pump to bring your antifreeze once you bypass your hot water heater indoors. And usually where that access panel is usually going to be right behind the hot water heater. We'll look indoors. Cable, satellite, tank flush. Black and gray holding tanks. Dump those when leaving the campsite. Got a outdoor shower here with a quick connect hose. In and to the right connects it. In and to the left disconnects it. Cover for your spare tire. Keep that on there. That keeps that from dry rotting in the sun. You got a ladder to utilize it. Go up there several times a year. Check the seams of your roof and caulk as needed with recommended RV roofing caulk. You're prepped for a backup camera. Your awning does have a pitch adjust. You can pull down on this, and in light rain, that'll run the rainwater this way. I recommend bringing awnings in rain because rain usually means high winds. They're great for shade, not good for high winds. Just save yourself the trouble and save your awning. Back over here on the campsite, we got a couple of outdoor speakers, a vent for your hood range indoors. You've got a snap-in outdoor mount for a television. Cable and 110 for that here. This is a flue for your furnace. A few things on that. One, they sell bug guards for those. Two, steer clear of this when you run it. It does get very hot, and also to make sure it's never blocked. Down here's a manual override. Your hand crank in there will bring your slide in and out should you lose power. Down underneath here you also have a quick connect LP for your griddle, which will sit out here on some legs. That is in here. There's a table that sits out here as well. There's the griddle. So you'll flip this upside down. Take this top off it. Take those legs off. Put this mount on the bottom, and then it will sit out here. Oops, excuse me. Like that. Your griddle will be in here. Your legs will go back on, holding these on, mounted on there. There's your hand crank. Prepped for solar. You can plug in a solar panel right here and that'll trickle charge your batteries. That covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out is your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone who's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. All the way up to my right is going to be my control panel. Start up here by showing you this is where you see the levels of your tanks. That red will be your freshwater filling. Over here's the level of your battery. That will also show all green if you're plugged in. So if you want to check the actual level of your battery, just unplug your unit and that'll show on there. Awning, step, interior, and bedroom lights. I've turned them all in here. Shut them all off one time, run back through that. Over here is where you connect Bluetooth to the phone, to your phone, so you can do all this from your phone. Turn on your water heater. Here's where you turn it on, hook to gas. It does have a DSI fault on it. And over here is where you hook it up if you're on electric, where you turn it on at. It does make a difference. Choose correctly. Here's where you turn on a water pump to get that fresh water. Here's a tank heater. That is just a little 12-volt pad that's on your tanks to keep them from freezing in inclement weather. Here's your awning and your slide controls on your awning. You only want to extend this out until you can see that flap and then your brown bar. If I were to hold that down, that would continue running itself out, flip up onto itself, and start running itself up backwards. So keep an eye on it when you run it out. Make sure you don't run it out past that point. You can stop anywhere in between. That doesn't hurt it. We'll utilize the slide control and open that up. You do want to walk probably down to your bed. Make sure it's all clear. Nothing's going to get caught in there. As this comes in, I'll shut off my awning lights and close our door. Those really do work best when slightly slammed. Above that, it's going to be a solar controller. The only thing you have to worry about on this is keeping this unflooded. This will keep your solar panels from overcharging your batteries. You just got to stay on the correct size battery. I'll send you a video from GoPower on how to set that. It's very simple. Plumbing. Just want to say, keep an eye on your plumbing. May have to pull the drawers out to get to it in here. Just keep an eye on things. Make sure nothing wiggles loose if you travel a lot in this. You also got a pop-up power port here. Get the television here in a minute. Tire pressure monitoring system. I'm going to send you a video specifically from Truck System Technologies on how to hook this up. It's very important. Nice tire pressure monitoring system, especially when you're towing this a lot. Self-explanatory. Microwave. Down below that, a light and fan. Above your cooktop. New knife rack. Rubber stoppers hold this in tight, but this makes a nice backsplash. Flip that up, turn on your panel light, turn this to high, push it in to light it. There we go. All these will light the same way. Turn it to high, hit your spark, hold it in for a second, there you go. Shut them back off. Same thing on your oven. Rock that down, turn that panel light down, it becomes an oven light. But go to your spark here, or your gas, push it in for your spark. That will light it, then turn it to your desired temperature. Make sure you see you can usually just look down in here and see a reflection of your flame to show that your pilot light has lit. We return for your exhaust. Before I go any further, let's go ahead and open up this slide. Back here, slide out. That's the noise I wanted you to hear. A little noise. That's just the slide mechanism saying I'm all the way out. Go ahead and stop. Turn that light on. I'm going to come back in here to the kitchen now. Here's our fridge. You can open this from either side. I just recommend you get in the habit of opening it from one side, because if you don't close the one slide all the way, the other side could fall off when you do it, when you pull it open. So I'm going to go to this side. Fridge, freezer. It's just a dual swing fridge in case, you know, as long as that side's closed, you can open it from this side. They did it so they could design to put it in several different types of units. Coming down here is your breaker box and fuses. You've got a ton of 15s, a 20, couple 40s. I highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. Here's your 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. Now the reason I mention that it's 12 volts is that's always running off your battery. So if you are dry camping in this and you don't want this to run your battery down, use that battery disconnect up front. Now you do have solar power on this, so that might give it enough power to keep this running and you'll be fine. Forget about that on the new ones. They almost all have the solar power to keep that charging. Lighting. Hand crank open. Power exhaust vent here. 4 different speeds on that. Shower doors. You want to make sure these are snapped closed for traveling. More plumbing to maintain. There's your little access panel. Those are usually square head screws. You have 110 with GFCI reset in your bathroom. Come around the corner, as I said, usually the back side of the hot water heater is your access, and here it is. This is your access panel. Same thing, square headed screws to get this out to bypass your hot water heater for when you winterize it. These tables are completely removable. They're just, or adjustable even. If you loosen that, this can be brought right up out of there. So over on the bed for now. Can be swung around and used in different ways. You've got phone charger here. Set your phone in there, you're good. Yeah, where they're supposed to be. So we've got a Connex Smart TV over there, and our remote here. The reason I say this is a smart TV is it is indoor, outdoor, Bluetooth, AM, FM, television, all in one. So let me go ahead and turn on the TV up here. Looks like we're on there now. Just find live TV. The only thing I recommend is that you go in here and run a digital channel scan when you get at your campsite so that you can pick up all the local channels. So I can go ahead and also just go ahead and turn that into Bluetooth or FM. I'll do a channel scan here. So I finally found the right button. I was down here pushing these for the scan, but this is what you want to do, is the FM tune here to scan, to go to the next channels. We're inside a metal building. I don't know how many they'll pick up here. 102.5, of course. But anyways, also pair Bluetooth to your phone and Bluetooth. So a cool system here. Also have a remote for your fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. I can go through and brighten or dim the color, but the biggest thing is the heat. This thing's cranking out heat right now. You can raise or lower the temperature over here in the corner up to 85 or bring it down. If you're at a campsite and you're chilly in the morning or evening, you got gas you pay for, leave that gas in there, turn this baby on, and it'll get it toasty in here in no time, I promise you. Little desk area here. Our bed, back over, so I can show you, we've got a handle here that'll lift up for like bedding here, and you've got some drawers down here. 110 and charging ports, got accent lights here to shut your lights off at night, and over here is a good reading light. We should have a smoke alarm here and our thermostat over here. So these are real simple new Coleman mocks they put on here. Touch that and it's going to go to a mode. Turn it to cool. Touch it again. Your fan's on high. That should crank right up. As long as your temperature is set lower than this is. AC also has a quick dump. When you get to campsites, it's hot as heck in here. Open these babies up and it'll get it nice and chilly in here in no time. Alright, touch it back again, take that cool, go to off. You'll see it shut off rather quickly. Now we're going to go over to front heat. Heat set to 83. As I said, there's your return for your heat. Here's what you are going to notice though, is when I shut the heat off, back into my mode, go to off. It's going to take about 2-3 minutes for that to cycle through before it shuts off. Access panel to your plumbing right there. Alright, that about covers everything on the inside. Let's act like we get ready to leave the campsite and close the unit up. I like to start by shutting off my interior lights, because then I see any other lights that are on are accent lights that I need to individually walk through and shut off. I check my bathroom. Now I can come back and just turn on interior and say doors and drawers. Walk through the unit, make sure all doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede our slide from coming in, especially our drawers down there. We don't want them to break to come in. Turn to my control panel, slide in. Bottom's always going to move first, going in or out, because that's what the mechanism is. And also coming in. Saying a little noise. Doesn't hurt it, just let go. Go ahead and shut off my interior lights and exit the unit. Now one thing I want to mention on these steps, whether bringing them in or out, always make sure this exterior door is all the way open, otherwise this is going to catch on it. Feet are also adjustable by pushing in on this. That will release your leg. And go here to bring that in. Now before you leave the dump station, I want you to lock, deadbolt, lift and turn that handle. That's how you want that for travel. But you want to be able to get in there when we're dumping our tanks so you can see when they're empty. I'm going to go ahead and retract our stabilizing jacks. If we are out dry camping, we're going to bring them up. We're going to come on over. Just fill up fresh water, dump our freshwater drain, open that up, and head on home or the nearest dump station, whatever we're in need of. If we're at a campsite, we're going to unhook our power, our water, our cable, bring up our stabilizing jacks, and head on up to the dump station. At the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump is all the way at the rear of the unit, just behind your tires on the driver's side of your vehicle. 10-foot hose comes with your convenience pack. We're going to hook that up here on the end, and we're going to pull our black candle. That's going to be the thicker side over here. That's going to be your sewage. Once that sounds like it's no longer draining, go inside, check the level of your black tank. If it shows empty, you're pretty close to it. Come out here, leave that handle open, grab the hose at the dump station and hook up to where it says tank flush. Top one up here. Hook that hose up, turn that hose on, let it run for a good 5 minutes, let that wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close that up, come down here, make sure all that water you just put in there has drained, then close that black handle and pull your gray handle. Now as you use your cleaner waters, your sinks, your showers, those are clean your sewage out. When them are draining, go ahead and come around here where it says low point drain. It is literally way up in there. I'll see if the camera will catch it as I get up in there, kind of show you where they're at. Dump those out. Don't think you're going to be camping for a while. Don't want to leave water in your hot water heater. Come over here. Lift up on this pressure release valve. Now be careful because the hot water could come out of there. When that's done, then you can pull this drain plug. That'll get that residual hot water out of there. When that gray is done, close that gray up, take the sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your bumper and head on home. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Microlite for many years to come. Happy camping.